talked to a student recently at one of our woke college campuses who said she is required in every class to introduce herself and to give her pronouns. Well, I'm Ted Cruz, and my pronoun is kiss my ass.
Welcome to the Friday night free for all, everybody. I want to thank you all for supporting the channel, and I want to apologize because I've noted that lately I've been cussing more. I've been louder about my aggressive need to cuss. It's because the left, folks, is not arguing. They don't have debate points. They don't have anything that falls into a category where you and I can listen to them and then have a logical, intelligent, rational thought flow and then have a response. It doesn't exist. The left-wing idiots are just gone. And that just leaves me pissed off at these fucking people. They can't accept reality. In fact, they deny reality exists. They think they're birds. They identify as birds or another gender or another race or another, it's just, everything's asinine. They refuse to accept that the Jim Jones juice is causing problems. Oh, geez, we're continuing to have this mystery for the last 3 fucking years. We have no idea why people are dropping dead, having heart attacks, having strokes, neurological problems, going deaf, dying in their sleep, dying while alive. Here's another one, and thank you, Darcy T. We've got a vaccident on our hands. That's right. The sudden death of a bus driver, aged 40. This death has been ruled, folks, natural causes. Is it natural to be forced to take the Jim Jones juice? Is it natural to have your body turn on itself? Is it natural for our hearts to become clogged and enlarged trying to pump blood? That's natural? Now, at that time, back when this bus driver died, the coroner said further medical examinations would be needed to establish Mr. Shrimpton's cause of death, with focus on the examination of the condition of his heart. And then they turn around and go, yeah, natural causes. 40-year-old man in today's day and age? Yeah. Now, in addition to him dying while driving the bus, several children were injured. And one died because the bus driver collapsed and the bus crashed. Several children were injured and one child was killed by a dying. But I thought we were supposed to do everything we could to protect everyone. If we could just save one life, let's just lock down everyone in order to save the same one life. Lost week or weeks of income that was never made up, never returned, never restored. How could it be? The government is already broke and full of liars. Anyways, that's how I'm going to start today's Free for All Friday. And I remembered, man doesn't even have to hit me with the blue wrench, that we're going to shotgun this, me, you, me, you, me, you. We got lots to talk about, folks. And you can put in the question section anything you heard or read about today or all week long. Or if you have something that you're predicting for next week, next month, next year for the election, I don't care. It's up to you, though, to get it down here, because if you're thinking it, then it's probably important to discuss. So let's do that right off the bat. Mr. Ooman, you or somebody else has something interesting to say. I'm sure of it. Where are we going? And it's none other than Cyber Hannah. She says, what about the ruling for fat ass Fanny today? Didn't I just apologize for all my cussing? And you start with fat ass Fanny? That's great. Okay, so Cyber Hannah says, I haven't read it all, but it's just, what the fuck? Moment in time again. Yes, I agree 150 billion%. 150%. Okay, let me go to it. I've got some things, some notes, right? Got some notes. So, a judge has ruled that there's a problem here. Yeah, no shit, judge. Okay, first, the judge and his wife both contributed money to fat ass Fani Willis's election campaign. Conflict of interest. This judge should have recused himself. Anything this judge decides can be fought on appeal and attacked. He should be sanctioned by the Bar Association for failure to maintain an arm's length. When you give someone money, arm's length is gone. You're now buddies with them. So this judge says Nate's testimony is bad. And now, well, fat ass Fanny's boy toy, Nate, he's committed perjury. They lied about their relationship, about money, about when they see each other, how often, where they go, everything. And he says, yeah, he can't be on this case anymore. Well, this is fucking interesting. So fat ass Fanny's boy toy commits perjury and he's off the Trump case. Don't worry, he'll keep all the money he got. But Fanny is still there and still can be part of this case. She should have been kicked off as well. How is Nate, the boy toy, guilty of perjury? Perjury, lying, bullshitting. But fat ass Fanny isn't. How can she just sit there in court being allowed to get away with everything? Everything. This jackass of a judge, a Georgia judge, McAfee is his name. He says fat ass Fanny can continue her racketeering case against Trump despite her lies. But now, I mean, get this. The judge says that she has to sever ties, right? No more of that. So he commits perjury, he's gone. She can commit perjury and she's fine. She's allowed to stay on the case. Now get this. The same judge, Cyber Hana, the same judge, Judge McAfee, he told Terrence Bradley, there's too many inconsistencies for his testimony against Fanny fat ass Willis. So his testimony's thrown out, folks, because of inconsistencies. While fat ass Fanny and Nathan, her boy toy, have lied. Fuck, you want to talk about an inconsistency? Lies. Lies are inconsistencies. Only in this case, you're under oath. And when you're under oath, if you lie, it's called fucking perjury, and that's a crime. If you don't see that this is a fucking Persian bazaar, kangaroo court, sack of shit case, then you're blind as a fucking bat and dumb as a box of rocks. In fact, boxes of rocks are insulted if you don't see that this is a political persecution and an attack on the American judicial system, as well as an attack on Mr. Trump. Unfucking believable. Beyond unfucking believable. It just is. It just is. Thank you, Marilyn, very much also for your emails today. Thank you to Orlando for sending me some humorous, funny shit, and I'm in a piss poor fucking mood already. I've been in one, but it doesn't matter. You guys are great, and I love you all. Thank you to everyone for doing what you do. Now, I'll tell you what, man. Even though that was Cyber Hana brought that information up, it allowed me to tear into 3 different fucking articles that I had regarding this bullshit. Just incredible. We are due for bullets flying, and I'm not promoting, inciting, I'm not glamorizing and glorifying the violence, but it's going to come. People are tired of this shit. And I'm one of them. I'm not going to do anything violent because I'm not that kind of guy. You want violence? That's the left wing. They are the violent ones. And we know it. And we are prepared. I can't fucking wait for the fireworks, folks. At this point, I want to see justice served fast food style. We got your meal pre-made and waiting for you, you fucking losers. All right. I don't know, man. I don't know. Mr. Man, where do we want to go next? I love satire. I love humor. I love being a smartass. I love illustrating absurdity with more absurdity. That's why I loved, with a capital L, making fun of the Jihad Squad, AOC, the fucking Democrat idiots, Ilhan Omar this morning, just pointing out how fucking absurd they are. Right? When Mr. Jennings said that she is a public relations spokeswoman, Ilhan Omar is a public relations spokeswoman for Hamas, and the only thing they had to do was play the fucking race card and then the religion card. Just that's all they got. Okay, Mr. Uman has barking wolf spider on the screen. I'm not ignoring you, barking wolf. I'm in that kind of a fucking mood. It is Friday. I hope you're all set for the weekend. Barking Wolf says some studies have finally been compiled that say e-cars, that is EVs, electric vehicles, they are 1,850 times more damaging to the environment than the internal combustion engine. How about that? Unconscionable. Now, I think there's a place on the planet for everybody to live. If you're a Haitian, you live in Haiti. If you're from Libya, you live in Libya. If you're really rich, you get an EV and you flip the bird to Greta the Climate Grinch. And you're like, I don't care if my car is 1,850 times more damaging. I'm rich, so fuck you. The same way the super rich say, I don't give a shit. I'm going to get in a private jet and fly across the planet because I'm so important. I love it, though. I'm glad you found that, Barking with Spider. I really appreciate that. I have been fighting against ignorance and stupidity with respect to the environment and climate change for decades. I've been here 1 decade. I've been fighting ignorance and stupidity for decades. Decades. Long before you guys got to see me, I was battling the wind turbine assholes. Because on the same plot of land that they wanted to disturb acres of dirt, cut roads into a hillside, right? Put thousands of yards of concrete per windmill into the ground, which is mining the aggregate, mining the lime or the Portland cement, if you will, creating the cement trucks, driving them hours from the batch plant to get them out there. But before this, before the windmills, you weren't allowed to set foot on that federal ground because you would disturb the sacred sage grouse habitat. The sage grouse in its habitat. Not to mention, there are bald eagles. That's right, the bald eagle sometimes flew around that area, meaning they're hunting for food as part of their territory. But you want to put fucking windmills up? Put up 50 of those fucking things. It doesn't matter that they're going to fall down or burn in the next 10 years before they pay for themselves, much less replace all the energy it took to create them. From the cement to the aggregates, to the diesel fuel, to the trucks, to the steel, to the other steel, to the carbon fiber blades, to the big motors. None of that fucking matters to these people. All that matters is they feel good in their little hearts. I'm telling you, I'm glad these studies are coming out demonstrating how much energy, how much environmental damage is done, how much carbon is released to feed these EVs. In fact, what the fuck did I see? In Sweden, folks, they're using diesel-powered generators to charge their electric buses. You can't get much more comically fucking stupid than that. Laugh at them. You have to laugh at them. You do. Thank you, Barking Wolf Spider. I tell you what, I'm going to take that stupid and I'm going to raise you one. Get this, folks. Has shit hit the fan? Have people lost their fucking minds? Yes. The Democrats have lost their minds and they are pushing us down the road to insanity. And folks, when you put insane people next to other insane people, violence happens. But get this particular bit of corporate stupid. I guess Advil doesn't like that Coca-Cola. Remember Coca-Cola telling you, be less white? Or Nike, who uses Chinese slave labor to make their fucking shoes, wants to tell you you're a racist. And all the other American dumbass fucking corporations who are woke. Advil has decided to create a new problem for minorities. If you are a person of color, if you are black, a black American, an African American, if you are a Hispanic, a Mexican, or someone from a Latin American country, if you are a Native American, a First Nations person, an Aboriginal, or whatever the fuck you call yourselves, if you're from Asia and you're a color that no one wants to say because saying the word yellow hurts feelings, and saying I'm white is wrong anyways. I'm a person of color, damn it. I'm peach colored, light peach at that. Now, Advil has decided to bring race into the world of pain relief. They've created their own term, pain equity. Oh, diversity, equity, inclusion. Advil wants to get on the woke bullshit because there is, I'm not fucking making this up. Normally I illustrate absurdity by being fucking absurd. I mimic their immorality by speaking very poorly, right? Bad language. They have bad intellect. I have bad language. At least I make fucking sense. Now, you guys too. Seriously. Systemic pain racism. If you're black, how much more fucking insulted could you be? If you're Native American or whatever, if you're an Asian or what, if you're a white person, how much more insulting could these fucking people be? To sell a fucking pain relief tablet, they've entered the world of woke and destruction and mental fucking aberration. Now, folks, pain, suffering, and life's difficulties are racist. Systemic pain racism. Advil wants to fix the pain equity issue out there. You know what? I think Earth, as a planet, is racist. Have you ever looked at an aspirin? Have you? How many people have had an aspirin, a Tylenol, an Advil? They're white. Is it because aspirin is white that Advil has decided to do the pain equity thing? Well, aspirin's white. I think Advil's white. On the inside, all drugs are white. Have you noticed that? Have you stopped to look at the color of Advil? Are they implying that drugs, because they're white, are more effective? Why don't they make a brown Tylenol? Not just a brown coating on the outside, like a Motrin or some shit. Well, you know, chocolate is brown. But you don't hear white people complain about chocolate discrimination or chocolate equity against us white people. right? I want to illustrate the absurdity of these fucking people by being absurd. Advil should just dye their pills brown and say, this is for, like, make two. Make a brown one. Hell, make all the colors so no one's excluded. Green for aliens. You bet. It's going to fucking lose it. I'll humorously lose it. Man says, we just buy white chocolate. I tell you what, man, I've had white chocolate. I hate white chocolate. It tastes like shit. It's all sweet and fucking creamy and weird. I don't like white chocolate. But see, I'm colorblind when it comes to chocolate because, you know, we're not supposed to see color. How fucking obvious could it be when you meet someone what they look like? Just it's unbelievable. It's unfucking believable. Okay, now I want to introduce this concept to you, and then we'll move on with another one of your questions. Let's just say shit has hit the fan, and it has. Let's just say the Democrats want to have riots and chaos and mayhem and arson and murder again. And you have groups like Antifa and BLM and the Black Panthers and the White Idiots and the whatever jackass ranger bullshit Democrat club out there. They want to make cool names to sound tough. Let's just say they're out there on the street. They're coming down your street. Do you think they're using their fucking brains? Once again, when I deal with people on a business to business talk, I'm talking to someone about rational ideas, concepts, the cost, right? There's dollar costs. You have to understand fucking math. 4 and 4 is 8. It is not 44, right? No, it's 8. There's only one way for math to fucking work. Without it, the whole system fails. So I have to deal with logic and reason and critical thinking and fucking forward thinking and planning and all kinds of shit. And I can deal with people on that level. And if they have something to tell me, I can understand it and then answer their question. When you have these fucking people coming down your street with torches and pitchforks, threatening everyone using bullhorns and making racist, idiotic fucking demands, are you, my friends, dealing with a sane person? No, you're not. They are all fucking crazy as fuck. They are shithouse, batshit, beyond the fucking realm of possibility crazy. They think they're dogs. They think they're cats. They think they're birds. I ain't shitting you. There's men that think they're women. There's women that think they're men. There's men and women that have no gender. There's people that have invented a language using English words that means nothing like what you think. They don't have logic and reason. They have zero experience with fucking reality because they've been living in their parents' basement and going to college where they've had their head filled full of the stupidest concepts ever devised. And they're coming down your street right now. A lot of them, folks, have guns. Do you think you're going to go out on the street and talk to them? Danger, danger. Do you think you're going to be able to convince them of any piece of reality? No, you're not. If you are a white person and they're playing this stupid Democrat racist game, how dangerous do you think they are to you? If you are a black man or a black woman and these fucking idiots are coming down your street making demands, hey, brother, man, give us some food. We need a place to sleep. And you're like, no, sorry, motherfuckers. Get off my property. Get off my lawn. No. Oh, you're an Uncle Tom, huh? They go right for the race baiting bullshit. And if you're black, you are just as much trouble as if you're white, unless you give them everything they want. We're dealing with a bunch of petulant, childlike mentalities, and they're all grouped together, and they're participating in what's known as mass psychology, mob psychology. And what does the mob do? Do your own research, folks. I'll give you my answer because I've done mine. There's this concept called lowest common denominator. And in a situation like that, the mob does not look for a leader to go, we need someone really smart to represent us. No. They start chanting ridiculous, retarded slogans, literally retarded slogans, as if that contains the truths of the universe. And it justifies them to take any action they want. Well, silence is violence. If you don't join them and admit that you're wrong, then you're a violent person. If you don't kiss their asses, well, that's a microaggression against them because they're right and you're wrong and you won't admit it. If you dare to talk back, you've just invited murder. Why do you think BLM and Antifa murdered people? Do you think those Republicans, those conservatives, were there to start a fight and get murdered? If you think that, you just might be wrong. Hell, they even killed in St. Louis, I believe it was Ferguson, a black man, a retired black man. He was in his late 60s or 70s, a stalwart neighborhood gentleman. They murdered him. Why? Because he didn't agree with what they were doing. Unfucking believable. Folks, this is the planet we're on. We definitely are right there. Ooh, man, was that my question or someone else's? I can't remember now. I think I just took that one, caught a big draft to win, and sailed it away. Is my turn? It's your turn. Ooh, man, you did that? You're responsible for that last tirade? All right. Ooman says, my trucker friend was talking to a fellow trucker yesterday. You know, those truckers, they stick together. Anyways, he said his friend said the company he drives for filed for bankruptcy earlier this week. And the repo companies, the repossession companies, were there today for the trucks. There are lots of good-sized trucking companies all over the country filing Chapter 7 and Chapter 11 recently. You will own nothing and like it. You will own nothing and like it. I want to talk to you guys, and thank you for bringing this one up, Mr. Ooman, about a concept called nationalization. When the government decides to nationalize an industry. Have you heard of that? Now, it's bad to be an American nationalist because you love your country. You're for the nation of the USA. But nationalization is something Democrats would love to do. Do you know what nationalization is? That's where the United States government, or any government for that matter, but in our case, America. In Mexico's case, the Mexican government. In Canada's case, the Canadian government. Nationalization is when the government takes an entire industry and says, we now own that. We own the equipment. We own the means of production. We own everything, including the profit. What countries do that, folks? Socialist, totalitarian countries nationalize things. Like for even the fucking economy of America is controlled by the Federal Reserve in coordination and cooperation with the Treasury Department and the White House. That is pretty fucking close to nationalizing the entire economy, except they allow the private ownership of a lot of business. So what if so many companies go out of business in trucking that the government says, hey, we need to nationalize trucking. All trucking companies now belong to the U.S. government. You are forfeiting them. Who's going to stop the government? Who? You? Me? Us? Nope. I'm not going to go die for a bunch of fucking trucking companies. That's what they're going to count on, folks. The governments of the world have threatened for decades to nationalize industry. Well, these companies are making too many profits. You're not going to hear that argument anymore, folks. You would have heard that argument from the Democrats in the 80s and 70s and back. But now the Democrats own the companies, and those major corporations donate money to Democrats so they wouldn't dare steal them. But, you know, the trucking industry, yeah, sure. How about the mining industry? Gold, copper, steel, silver, zinc, lead. Any mines, any government can say the government now owns everything. They may or may not give you a little bit of money and say, here you go, now get the fuck out of here. This is what I fear for the trucking industry, folks, is a nationalization, the federal government taking control because it's interstate commerce, and use that interstate bullshit commerce clause they have. They invented something and put it in the Constitution for us, the interstate commerce clause. We're dangerously close to them causing way more trouble than we ever would have asked for. Wow. I tell you, folks, fucking wow. And Uman, he doesn't want to leave that alone. He says, on that topic, it looks like the truckers' strike is working. Idiots have finally petered out. Oh. Petered out. That's right. The truckers' strike failed. You know why? Because Americans are not willing to suffer. And I'm not making fun of truckers or people at loading docks or farmers or industrial workers or regular run-of-the-mill workers or fucking Burger King workers. We, as a people, are not willing to suffer. And that's why this is happening. So government will make us suffer and suffer and suffer until we give up our rights, our property, our nation. But if we were told all you have to do is suffer for 1 year, hardship and toil, and you will be free again and the country will be free, I'd sign up for that in a fucking second. Instead, we're going to be tortuously brutalized by the government through their ridiculous fucking policies, economic destruction, and civil rights and constitutional rights destruction. I will now give you an example. In Chicago, at the airport, at police stations, guess what? Immigrants, folks, who have come here have more than just the measles. Remember that measles outbreak just happened a few days ago? Oh, if you missed it, there are now measles outbreaks around the country from foreigners coming here. And now, folks, on top of that, guess what? Mass diarrhea outbreaks are being reported in migrant shelters in Chicago, at O'Hare, and the police stations. What would cause this? I don't know. How about dysentery? These people are unsanitary, unhealthy people. And Biden is 100% responsible. Prove me wrong if you dare. This disease outbreak is coming from unquarantined illegals coming from cesspool countries that have no health standards. And they're just importing these fucking people here left and right. Does the country give a shit? As in Washington, D.C. Do they care about these illegals? Not a fucking bit. Do they care about you and me? Not a bit. Do they mind if we suffer? No, they don't give a shit. Just like they didn't give a shit during cerveza bug lockdowns. They don't give a fuck that people were suffering, that they were upset, pissed off, losing their jobs, losing their business. They couldn't give a fuck. They want us all to suffer and quit. But if we, as truckers and construction dudes and store workers and manufacturers and farmers, if we said, you know what, fuck you, DC. We're not going to work. We're not going to pay taxes. We aren't going to do shit. You come to my house, I'll have a very loud response for you. Stay the fuck away and make the federal government suffer. and then they can suffer. And if they try enforcing bullshit laws, you make them suffer. We could have our country back, folks. It's not going to be easy. One way or another, we're all going to suffer. Am I wrong? Is everyone having a great fucking time? You're richer than you ever had been? You've got your prospects for a happy life have never been better? You love the fact that inflation is off the fucking hook? You enjoy the idea that your kids and grandkids may get hauled off to war to fight against Russia to satisfy some sick motherfucker's desire to have war and get rich from it? Here we are. Here we are. Unbelievable, folks. No. Oliver, you're all over me, man. He says, no, John. Mayor BJ of Chicago said they are more vulnerable to the diseases that are already here. Oh, I get it. So we have allowed illegal immigrants into our country. And the poor souls didn't realize that their immune systems aren't used to the dirt and filth of America. Well, in a city like fucking Chicago, I have to agree. It's a shithole. Don't go there. You may not be able to handle the disease. Okay, I mean, hard to argue with that. Yeah. Okay, so what Mayor BJ is saying is he runs a very, 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 very unsanitary town. You know, and I really wouldn't be surprised if the immigrants from other countries aren't used to having a diet jacked full of fucking chemicals. Read the fucking label on food. These idiots are coming up here from eating fucking bananas and iguanas. And probably mangoes and papayas and maybe turtles and whatever else the fuckers can catch. Of course, jungle chickens. They come up here and they're eating chemical food. That might be making them sick too. But measles is a disease. I'm pretty sure that America is basically measles free. Mumps, measles, chickenpox. I know kids used to get stuff. And then you get over it. Do you remember that the plague, as in the bubonic plague, was loose in the homeless camps of Los Angeles a few years back? Do you remember when the American zombified people were becoming cannibalistic several years ago during the zombie scare, that there's going to be a zombie apocalypse? I'm not afraid of any of their diseases. What I'm afraid of is their diseased mentality. They're that fucking nuts. Crazy world, folks. Crazy world. You know what? I got something interesting here. In Brooklyn, the district attorney has decided not to charge a subway shooter. And they're calling it self-defense. The 32-year-old man shot a 36-year-old man in self-defense on a platform during rush hour, no less. Well, how about that? This guy's name was, well, no, fuck that guy. He's just a spokesman for the government. I can't believe this. In Brooklyn, they're going to allow people to stand up for themselves and protect others and promote the general welfare, which, of course, is a phrase the government used that justify welfare, giving money away. There's a difference between promoting good living, which is welfare, and promoting bad living and dependency, which is the government. See how everything is 180 degrees out of phase? Sheesh. When the man with the gun became aggressive. According to reports, a 32-year-old man exchanged words with an armed 36-year-old man when the man with the gun became aggressive. The two exchanged words which turned physical and led to the 36-year-old to take out a knife or a razor blade. I tell you what, folks, Chicago, New York City, Brooklyn, Yonkers, the Bronx, all fucking Harlem, forget it. You can have it. You can have New York. I give it up. Wow. What a fucking planet. I just talked about these people from other countries being diseased. It's more than just the disease, folks. They have mental disease, just like Democrats. They're fucking mentally deranged. You need to have food, water, shelter, clothing, medicine, means of self-defense, and be prepared, folks, for more of what I'm about to tell you. There's a Haitian man from Haiti, no less. He has been arrested, folks. And he came to the United States on Joe Biden's parole program. What the fuck is a parole program? Where they take criminals from another country and bring them to America to show them how good we are and just be a good person and you can live a good life? Oh, that's fucking working out great. This is a warning. Warning, America. Oh, did I forget to tell you what this Haitian man was arrested for? He raped a 15-year-old girl. And that 15-year-old girl was disabled. So not only was he a man and she was a girl, not only was he a grown man and she was a teenage girl, not only was he a full-grown man, capable, strong, he attacked a disabled, weak, young girl that he could victimize. That is the fucking mentality of Democrats and these foreigners, folks. This is exactly what Democrats want. They are traitors. They are criminals because they're promoting illegal immigration and violating our national laws on border protection. Are you awake yet? Is my anger misplaced? Is it out of context? Is it unnecessary? How about your anger, your frustration, your worry, your concern? If you're a woman, what do you think of these fucking stories I read? If you're a man, what do you think of these stories? And they're not just stories, folks. It's not bullshit. These are fucking news reports that come through mainstream media if you know how to find them, if you know where to look. They're all over the fucking news tickers. But Reuters, Associated Press, we don't need that, says the mainstream media. Those are scary stories. Let's do the story where the homeless illegal immigrant gives money to Americans. Have you ever heard the expression, right? There's going to be hell to pay. There's going to be hell to pay, folks. There's going to be hell to pay. Mr. Uman, where shall we go next? Okay. David Hastings says, you got to laugh at the left. Oh, I laugh a lot, as you fucking guys know. He says, because you can't argue with them. They're too stupid to be rational. Exactly the point, Mr. Hastings. They're too stupid. They're not rational. They're illogical. They operate on an intellectual level that is below a human standard. It's like arguing with your fucking dog. Can you imagine the argument your dog would make if you asked them, hey, dog, where did my juicy steak go? It was just up on the counter. And the dog would have it in his mouth chewing on it. I don't know. Woof, woof. Right? Scooby-Doo. It wouldn't tell you and be like, dude, I see the steak in your mouth. You took my steak. If the dog could talk as well as Democrats, he'd say, that's not steak. It's a piece of cow. And you'd be like, it's the same thing. No, it's not. I'm a dog, and I know better because I'm a dog. And I went to dog school and got a dog degree. So you have to listen to me, even though I'm only a 3-year-old dog. That's what these Democrats are like. They all think they're fucking brilliant. Well, they went to school. Oh, really? Do tell. This is where we're at. And I will laugh at them and make fun of them. And I'm also extremely cautious, Mr. Hastings. And I recommend everyone be extremely cautious with these Democrats because they are dangerous. They are violent. They will try and ruin your life, get you fired, destroy personal relationships, destroy family relationships, destroy professional relationships. They will do all they can to destroy your image, your value, your life. And if you expose them, what do? They fucking cry. They act stupid. They can't believe it. How dare you? You can't do that to me. They're fucking nuts, and it's getting worse. I talked to someone the other day. I think Uman might know this story. I talked to someone the other day who finally saw a fucking tranny for themselves in person. And you look at them, and it's absurdity on steroids to see one of these fucking freaks who's pretending to be normal and wants you to accept them. And if you talk to them, you better not laugh. And if you address them, you better use the right pronoun, even though you have no idea who the fuck they are or what they're about. To me, they look like escaped psychiatric patients. But they're on the street. They're dangerous, folks, because they can turn violent like that. That's how fucked up they are, folks. Now, thank you, David. I'm going to do this. I want to give you guys a happy story. A happy story. Down in the great state of Florida, the lawmakers there have unanimously passed an anti-squatting bill. And squatting is not squatting to take a crap. Squatting means finding an abandoned house, an unoccupied house, an unoccupied piece of property. And once you live there for a few days, you can say it's mine. You can't get rid of me. You can't kick me out. It is, to say the least, infuriating when renters don't pay rent. When people who have no right to be on property say you can't kick me off. So lawmakers have passed this ancient law, or got rid of this ancient bullshit idea of squatting. Good, because Florida is about to be invaded by boatloads of fucking Haitians who will scare and drive people out of their homes and then claim the homes for themselves. This is where we're at, folks. This is where we're at. Both chambers, folks, the Assembly and the Senate, passed this. And law enforcement can go and immediately remove squatters without waiting months and months of going through the bullshit court system. And if Governor DeSantis signs this, it goes into effect July 1st. I find this uniquely refreshing and good news. So, one good story versus, billions of fucking screwy stories. But that's where we're at. I just wanted to give you a little taste of rational, logical ideas. Like, if you own property, you can tell people to fucking leave. Unbelievable, folks, where we're at. Okay, what are we going to talk about next, Mr. Uman? Where are we going? I was trying to give you a degree of anonymity, man. I didn't want to out you like that. Like, hey guys. Hey, Uman, turn around for a second. Plug your ears. Hey, guys, Uman's never seen an actual fruitcake in his life. To, the massive tranny fruitcake degree. I wasn't going to. Get that back up there, man. I got to read it. Get it up there. Oliver's just hasn't spent any time in California. I guess he got different types of fruitcakes in Illinois. He says the dude was a heavy-set, short dude with a beard. And he was in the nuts and bolts section at the home improvement store. Thank you for not saying Lowe's or Home Depot. I don't want to give them any notoriety or publicity. And I certainly wouldn't want Lowe's or Home Depot to be accused of being involved in the Prepared Mind Network. No. They don't want that reputation. But yeah, short dude with a beard. Now, wait. How do we know he was a tranny, man? Did he have tits? Was he wearing a fucking dress? Did he have makeup on? Did his clothes match, or did he match his clothes like a retarded guy?
All right. He was wearing a dress. He had those weird librarian stockings on, and it wasn't Lowe's or Home Depot. It was a store called Menards.
Oh, Maynards. Is it Manards or Maynards or Menards? Menards.
Menards.
It's MENARDS.
That's correct.
Also not associated with the Prepared Mind Network. But
Right.
how could a tranny shop in a store whose name has the word men in it?
I don't know. It wasn't that I've never seen one before. I've just never seen one in my area before.
Okay, man. Okay. I just had to have some
I had
fun
to
with
set
that.
the record straight. Because I just
Set the
told you
record
that story about San Francisco last week.
You were in San Francisco last week?
No.
Well, your microphone's a little low and I'm a little deaf.
Okay, well.
Anyway, say that again, man.
I said it. I thought I told you the story about my experience in San Francisco going to that bar with my wife and another couple.
Yes, you did.
Yes, I did. So
yes, you did.
I have seen that kind of thing before, just not around here.
I forgot about that other horrifying story about being dry humped by a homosexual at a bar. I was trying to save you. I was trying to save you more embarrassment. I can't remember who was dry humped, whether it was you or your friend or a girlfriend or the lamppost. It has been that kind of fucking week, man.
Oh yeah, it has. I regret coming on here every time. Damn you.
Oh, it gets better. It gets better. Are we ready for? Okay. Anyways, Mr. Uman, you're the best. Thank you, dude. There's too much fun, folks, in the world of asinine stupidity. Now, remember when I talked about the Boeing whistleblower who was being legally deposed in a lawsuit, right? His lawyers were like, this is the he's blown the whistle. He's outing the bad company, Boeing Aircraft. He's straightening things out because he caught them putting shitty parts and building airplanes with them, right? They're doing everything wrong and it's causing, right? He kills himself, right? He was found in his vehicle dead, self-inflicted gunshot wound. Well, guess what has come up since then? On top of his attorney saying he wasn't upset, he wasn't depressed, he wasn't scared, he wasn't worried. In fact, he was quite happy about how things were going and that everything was progressing fine. Well, a friend of the dead dude has come out and said that his friend, right, the guy who is dead, the dead guy said, quote, if anything happens to me, it's not suicide. Attention, conspiracy theorists, I think we have another one. And facts matter. I'm going to remind everyone, I am not suicidal. I'm not going to commit suicide. If I'm dead, if anything happens to me, it wasn't suicide. Fact, right? Facts matter. Facts matter. Not to Democrats, not to murderous political regimes like the Biden regime, the Obama regime, the Clinton regime. Obama, remember his chef? He decided to go out to the Obama pond and do some paddle boarding and somehow managed to drown. And then Mitch McConnell's sister-in-law happened to be parked in her EV, polluting EV, next to a pond, somehow stupidly backs her car into a pond and stays in it until she drowns. That makes fucking sense too, right? It just makes a lot of sense how all this shit works. Unbelievable. Unfucking believable where this is all leading. I think Ilhan Omar is a public relations agent for Hamas. And she's a public relations agent for the Houthis. and she's a public relations agent for Hezbollah, and she's a public relations agent for anyone who hates Israel. And it looks like the American Israel Lobby Organization has convinced Congress to ban TikTok. Something like that. Folks, we got some crazy stuff going on. We need to keep our eyes open, our minds sharp, and fully prepared with food, water, shelter, clothing, medicine, and a means of self-defense. I hope you have enjoyed this Friday free for all. And we could go on for hours, into hours, into hours. We could. But we don't got that kind of time. It is Friday night, and I want everyone to take a little bit of time off for yourselves. Make sure you're armed. Make sure you are armed and able to protect yourself, your family, and others who are around you. The game time is fucking over. And I'm just going to fucking end it right here with one last article I want to share with you guys. And it has to do with logic. There's this thing called deductive reasoning. It's part of logical thinking. And then there's inductive reasoning. And then there's just basic fucking math. Former vice president, turncoat, sack of shit, sellout, bullshit artist, Mike Pence. Oh, flyboy. He went on the news. He's continuing to go on the news to try and make himself important. He wants to be important. He went on Fox News as if that's going to win him any friends. Anyways, this dumbass, Michael Pence, he may as well be Michael Obama. Mike Pence says he will not endorse President Trump. What a sack of total shit. He spent 4 years as vice president. Everything was fine. Why were you there, Mike? What the fuck were you doing there if you didn't agree with Trump, didn't like Trump, or it was just the last couple of days and that scared you away? Anyways, the dumb fucker won't endorse Trump. But in the same breath, he refuses to reveal who he is going to vote for. Who is left? This is just simple fucking math. You got two candidates, a Republican and a Democrat. The Republican is Trump. If you're not going to vote for him, 2 minus 1 equals 1, Mike Pence. 2 minus 1 equals 1, former vice president cocksucker. Right? How hard is a guessing game with Michael Pence? I wish I could meet these people in public. I wish I could have 10 minutes of their time. But I won't make a difference, folks. No amount of logic, intelligence, rational argument, common sense, no amount of critical thinking to reach viable, natural, honest conclusions will help these fuckers learn and change their minds. That is evidentiary data to support the concept that they're out of their fucking minds crazy. Mic drop. Folks, chance favors the prepared mind is yours. Godspeed to you. Semper Fi. God bless America. And I am out. See you Sunday Night Live, 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 3 p.m. Pacific. Be there or be square.